All right, I think I'm live. I think I'm live. Welcome, everybody. Sorry I'm running a couple minutes late. Actually, at a conference, MidwestCon here in Cincinnati. Let me see. Make sure that we're on LinkedIn. Check. Let's see. Is it on? Let's see. Should be turning on in just a second. But I want to welcome everyone. We're going to be doing a deep dive on diaspora flavors. Um, So what this is, just to kind of give it context as well, is the aspect of moving from one country to the next. Uh, those flavors, those different combinations when it comes to food and things like that that you bring with you because you are from another country is that aspect. So what I did was I built out a strategic topic around these flavor profiles, and I'm gonna identify, the top three trends that I found in the culture around that topic. Um, so I want to make sure that I'm actually going live. I hate that I do this to us every week, but I just want to make sure that it's right. Can't see it on my phone necessarily, but I want to make sure that it is. Let's see. Let's see. Revive. Share. All right. It should be starting soon, so I'm gonna just kind of keep it rolling, keep it moving. And actually, let me check and see if the chat on Riverside is working. Let's see, live stream chat, studio chat. All right. Do I dare to think that anyone is actually watching this right now? If you are, just post something in the chat. Not, no worries. Sure. I think it just automatically does. So let's just jump into it. Um, the diaspora, and just let me back things up a little bit. Let me kind of walk through the niche fire. We should be seeing today. So the Niche Fire tool is a cultural listening platform that helps businesses and individuals understand the common beliefs, behaviors, um, language, slang, those different things that kind of bring us together as people and help us make the decisions that we make. And we do this very, very unique way of identifying these signals from social, web traffic, news, search, podcast data, and we're able to pinpoint what are those cultural signals that happen there that matter the most and give you the pathway into diving deeper into the why that's behind those cultural signals. Um, so as I mentioned today, I wanted to jump into a example of, spread that out, an example of a topic that I built called diaspora flavors. And again, the diaspora flavor topic is kind of capturing like that element of uh, foreign flavors and culturally sound flavors from other countries that show up here in the U.S. and the nuances behind um, that, right? So a couple of the different signals that I thought were noteworthy. The first one was this International Manila Food Festival. Now, the reason why I think this matters is, well, I know that it matters. Is, one, people that travel for pleasure usually travel centered around some type of event or opportunity for them to like go and experience something special about the place that they're traveling. And the International Manila Food Festival is, at this time last month between June and August. excuse me, July, August. This was a trend that popped up. But what this is actually saying to us is that, the festivals drive both food innovation and pipeline. So when it comes to like what's happening in the market, like understanding what these festivals are that are popping up are a huge area in the culture you should pay attention to because now you can come up with new innovation, innovative flavors, tailor a certain product around something that aligns with the flavor palette that aligns with that particular food festival, all of that good stuff. You kind of see the social data kind of spiked over time and kind of fell back down. But again, here in August is when it started to get the most recognition on social. And then here is the theme explorers. Now the theme explorer, again, for my new viewers, is the area where the culture all comes together. This is where you can see those commonalities, common sentiment, common behaviors clustered, and you can tap into these areas and dive deeper into those areas of the zeitgeist where that's happening. So, for example, that cluster has a lot of TikTok data, Reddit data, but the cool thing is that, like, hey, what's your go-to order? What's ordering Filipino cuisine? You see, interesting cuisine, international Philippines. Let's see what's else there. It's just better than another one. So it's calling out best Filipino restaurants, right? So it's trying to identify, uh, where are those areas where people are having those. And the cool thing is that if you tap into these areas, you stand to gain a lot of understanding the comment sections. 'Cause this is where all the people are talking about things that they do, um, showing certain types of affinity for the recipes that they see there, all that good stuff. So again, analyzing these comment sections at scale is the unique power there to kind of it's that unlock of identifying that culture. And the cool thing with niche fire is that we're going to surface all those areas of the zeitgeist that matter the most. So when you're doing that deep dive, it's all around areas that are actually driving um, driving some sort of action. And I think I stopped sharing my screen, so I do apologize for that. Right. Boom. So that's what that is here. Right. Being able to jump into these areas, right? Then let me go back to the theme explorer. So again, like the Manila Food Festival, again, a treasure trove of just ideas of different flavors, things that people like. Um, and again, you were interested in, I think that's in the Southeast Asia area, and those flavor there. I mean, again, it's a perfect place to kind of look at that. And as we think about like how this matters or interest around this over time, you can kind of see here that we have it forecasted out to have another big spike, around March in 2026, and actually approaching another one here in October as well. So, for these time periods, if that area of the world or flavors around that area is something that you're interested in, might be a good time to dive into that. Reach out to me directly, and I can give you. Well, actually, I have a. I'll post it in the chat. I have a uh, mini report that I created for this. So let me actually see if I can post this in the chat. That'd be cool if I can send you guys this to the chat. If not, I'll make sure that I'll put it in the description of this replay so that you can access. So, let's see if I can post it in the chat. Mm, don't know how to do that, but I'm gonna find out. Trust me, guys. I'm gonna just find out more and more each week about this stuff. Um, let me see something real quick. Is that in here? We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out, y'all. I got a report on that that dives into some of those flavors that are called out there. So reach out to me if that's something you want to jump into. The next trend that I wanted to call out, and anybody that knows me knows that I have kids, and my oldest, Elijah, is super anime fan, but these buldak noodles are something that like are always a topic of subject, some type of challenge that is around, hey, can you use the whole pack of spicy inside the buldak? Was a thing in my household for a while. So um, I think that this is a really interesting one. I'm thinking about Gen Z, Gen Alpha. Uh, they love to experiment with these type of things, and now we got some chips coming out that are aligned with the flavor profiles of these noodles. So they're probably super spicy or different levels of spicy and cheese, all that stuff. But this is a great place to kind of think and come up with those understandings of like these TikTok influencers and these kids that are posting tons about, the spicy or, just Asian inspired flavors. The Bulldog, the Bulldog trend just kind of stood out to me there. But the same as the other trend, like you can jump into the Bulldog flavor innovations. People kind of start talking about those spicy flavors that people like about them. Like I said, it's usually like spicy or cheese. There's a pack in a black pack that are supposed to be like real spicy. I've had them before. Um, Honestly, it's something that the kids want to do. Uh, not for my flavor, not for my palate, for sure. It's a little bit too spicy sometimes. But thinking about Gen Alpha, Gen Z, prioritizing their wants and needs, um, this could be an area again where you can come in to the niche fire and understand like these conversations that are happening here. Like for example, this what's the name of this subreddit? This is Udok Ramen, period. About 40 comments in here. People kind of talking about what they like there. Um, so again, like thinking about the younger audiences and how to incorporate these authentic uh, Asian inspired spices, ramens into other things like chips is already something that this brand is already jumping into head first. It's something that your brand may be able to do as well. Or just kind of look for inspiration around those flavors for other products, whether it's noodles or chips, or it could be some type of sandwich or even some type of like build your own taco kit or something like that, right? Think about the ramen flavors and the flavors that are inspired from all the anime activity that we see here in America. Here is that forecast for that trend. So again, it's pretty steady, pretty good bet that this is a good place to kind of dig into to kind of understand that. And we see a spike here around beginning of the year. Honestly, I just think that wintertime people we get Elijah uh, uh, international like food box or candy box every year. So that could be like some not people anticipating people getting those food out chips or something like that in a basket like that or something like that. But again, just it's pretty popular as far as a topic now. Really high topic, like I said, within Gen Z, Gen Alpha. So jump into that. Um, and then that last trend that I wanted to share is Jamaican jerk in Japan. Now, this one was interesting, right? This is kind of playing into that idea of fusion. And you got a lot of fusion happening with flavors right now in the market. This one was pretty surprising to me, but not as surprising as you possibly think. So it's funny. My wife just got back from Jamaica, and she was telling me about how a bartender was Japanese, but he taught full patois. Um, these things are happening out at scale, and again, like the idea of having jerk chicken in Japan now is starting to become a thing where we see that crossing over. And Japan and Jamaica are the two furthest away collaborations that you could possibly see. But again, jerk chicken is amazing, and you can see that that's being worked into those um, flavors in Japan now. And again, with Japan being so dynamic and growing at the forefront of a lot of things when it comes to technology and hospitality and stuff like that. Could be a good bet to kind of think about, okay, well, what other, areas or fusions are out there? Um, let's look into the Jamaican culinary experience abroad. Um, jerk pasta, brown stew chicken, all those flavors around Jamaica are starting to become more of a global palette, which I love. I love Caribbean food. I love Jamaican food. Shout out to Island Fridays here in Cincinnati, my boy Leo. But I got really excited about this because, I love Japanese food, Asian food, and I love jerk chicken. So would I take on a jerk hibachi? Absolutely. Or jerk chicken fried rice? Thank you. Please, yes, give me more. Um, and then, the cool thing is that our tool is also like conceptualizing how big the clusters are. So you kind of have that understanding of like the size of that culture as well. And you can see just the Jamaican culinary piece is huge. And it's, pretty popular now. It's going to be even more popular a year from now. So it might be one thing that you might want to, throw some bets at here in the near future. But again, like the power of the Inspire tool really is the fact that we can create this dashboard. And what this does for me is it's going to give me, those top trends every single day around this particular topic. It's going to automatically refresh these trends when they're no longer important, and it'll be replaced by a new one. And again, it's just a really easy way to kind of identify, some things that are hot and valuable in the culture and be able to kind of story tell based off of that, what you see in here. And that real unlock is when you can get down to this level, start analyzing these conversations, because this is where, this Korean hot pot, you know, or let me see, what was it? This is a forum, but feel of doing a hot pot barbecue restaurant or even Korean barbecue. You jump into that comment section in the subreddit, and that's where you start to find a lot of good mentions and conversations. And again, views are very, very fresh. Like in the last 12 days ago, someone jumped in and started talking about this um, versus seeing this weeks after it happened, right? It's very, very much so trying to keep a finger on the pulse of what that is for you. Um, but yeah, as I mentioned, like I said, I have a report that I created on this, and if you want, I can get you the download for that. You'll see here's the download for that. Post this in the chat right now. See if y'all can get it. Yeah, man, I just appreciate y'all. Like I said, my whole goal is to continue to create these, do these weekly, show you guys some stuff that we're working on. Hopefully it provides value. And I'm looking for feedback. So if you found this valuable, please let me know. If you didn't, help me understand good ways to do that. Um, I'm going to break out a little bit early today as I'm at a conference right now, and I want to not be so antisocial and mingle amongst the folks here at MidwestCon. But until then, I appreciate y'all rocking with me on these Firestarter lives, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace.